Ontario has announced tough new measures aimed at cracking down on cell phone use and vaping in schools.
This is an educational overhaul for the student, the teacher, and even the parent. However, our policy includes enforcement to ensure compliance and consistency province-wide. Through these changes that will be coming into effect this fall, we will be denying cell phone use during instructional time.
Students from kindergarten to grade 6 will be required to keep phones on silent and out of sight all day long. Cell phones will be banned during class time for older students. CP24's Beatrice Faceman is standing by with more. Beatrice, thanks for being here. Give us some more details on these cell phone changes in the classroom.
Well, the goal here, Renee, is to help students focus in the classroom. I mean, you can talk to any adult, and we're all, subjected to doom scrolling sometimes on social media for hours at a time. Well, imagine being a teenager trying to focus in class when that can already be a challenge just in person with other teenagers in class. So the provincial government here in Ontario has put together this plan that as of September, cell phones are going to have some new rules in the classroom, as you mentioned, up to grade 6. So grade kindergarten to grade 6, students are going to have to keep their phones on silent and out of sight for the entire day. The slogan being out of sight, out of mind. And then from high school, there is a little bit more flexibility. But kids are going to have to keep their phones also on silent and away unless instructed otherwise by a teacher. It's interesting when talking to different students here at the school where the minister made his announcement here this morning, students admit without any hesitation that cell phones are a major distraction to them in the classroom, that they find it difficult to focus, that they notice their peers around them all using their cell phones under the desks, and that essentially the threat of maybe going to the principal's office is not that big of a threat for the students. But what about notifying your parents? Because now there's going to be on report cards a line also sent home to parents that essentially tell them about how their kid is doing in school when it comes to cell phone use. And so the government putting a little bit more onus on students, on parents, and on teachers as well. Keep in mind, it is difficult to enforce. You've got one teacher standing in front of 30 students, but the minister saying that the government has these school boards' backs, and however teachers and these school boards want to enforce this, the government will be behind them all the way. When it comes to reaction from students that I've been talking to, here's what they've been telling me here this morning.
Do teachers ask students to put down their phones, and do students listen?
Nah, not really. Like when teachers ask students, they don't listen at all. They hide it. But some students, they actually would listen because they want to apply themselves to their schoolwork. So, but majority of them, they don't listen at all.
For me, at least, in our classes, there's no one that's not with a phone on, right? The teacher, she's teaching, and everybody's on their cell phones looking down, and no one's actually grasping what the teacher is teaching us.
And so also the minister now, as of September, will be instructing all the school boards across the province as well to block social media sites from their Wi-Fi network. So students can't access social media sites like Instagram or TikTok or X or Facebook while they're at school on the school's network, Renee.
Oh my goodness, have times changed. I remember being back in high school, and it was like pulling teeth to just send an email or something via cell phone. Something else I remember about high school was there was that smoking section outside, and I know cigarettes have sort of fallen out of favor, and the young people are vaping now, but there's new rules when it comes to that too, Beatrice.
Yeah, and I remember exactly that, the smoker's pit. I mean, we all had one outside of our high school. Certainly, as you mentioned, times have changed. There is marijuana consumption now. That's a problem in high school. And there's also the use of vapes. I mean, keep in mind, there's long been criticism for these companies who manufacture these vapes in different flavors like grape and bubblegum and strawberry that appeal more to teenagers than the taste of tobacco or nicotine would. And so we're seeing the proliferation, really, of vapes in high school specifically. I mean, the minister was saying you talk to any kid or go into any bathroom in any high school and you'll see their students congregating inside the bathroom smoking their vapes. Well, there's now going to be a zero tolerance policy when it comes specifically to vapes, Renee. In fact, in the last budget, already the government announcing more than $30 million to install vape detectors and other security upgrades in schools as well to monitor vape usage. And so now if students are caught using them, they're going to be forced to surrender them immediately. immediately, and then their parents are going to be notified as well. So the government putting forward these plans and protections, essentially putting not only the onus on the students, but their parents are going to know too. All those kids who go to school thinking my parents will never know if I vape, that's going to change if you get caught in an Ontario high school starting September.
Well, some big changes. CB24's Beatrice Faceman, thank you so much for filling us in on this.